Okay, thank y'all for joining the Twincast. It's the podcast where business and faith are our foundation, and a good laugh is always on the house.
We're identical twin sisters navigating the real estate world one deal at a time. I'm Cherie, your go to lender, helping you with all things finance.
And I'm Nicole, your favorite realtor, helping you find the perfect place to call home.
The Twincast starts now.
All right, let's jump into it. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about just a few minutes to discuss 5 minute, repairs on your credit. How can I get my credit in just a few minutes? How can I do that?
So, credit repair. We're having a credit repair talk.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of people, one, that don't know where their credit stands. And so I think one of the important parts about this would be to start utilizing Credit Karma. Use something that monitors your credit. There's so many places out there right now where you can use, even on your bank. If you bank with Bank of America, Chase, whatever,
Capital One.
Capital One, whatever credit card company that you use or banking institution, typically they have something that monitors your credit. So I would say the very first thing is to find out where your credit is. And after you do that, does not mean for you to go and try to fix it all overnight and to become the credit repair expert. That's not what you want to do. You want to take a few minutes, and I would first tell you to talk to your lender, loan officer. If you're in the process of wanting to buy a house, talk to your loan officer before you dive in and start doing all the things. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I would like, before we jump that far into it, I want to know what is the minimum score, so we have an idea of where we need to start when people get on Credit Karma or Credit Wise or any kind of credit monitoring app. What is the minimum? Where do they need to be?
You need to be at least a 580 credit score. So if you're not at a 580, there are things that you can do, and we can talk to you about it. But if you're at a 580, I mean, you can technically purchase a home. So that I tell people credit is king. So we need a 580. But if you're not at a 580, or even if you want to boost your credit score, these are things that will help you get there. So first, know where your credit score is at. Two, talk to your lender. Just because your lender, you doesn't mean that you have to buy a house. I'm not gonna, convince you to buy a house right now. If you say, hey,
But if you
Sheree,
talk to me, I will.
yes, if you talk to Nicole, she will talk to you about buying a house right now. But we do want to make sure you're in a good position to do that. But sometimes people overanalyze it. And so we don't want you to go into it and actually damage your credit, because I have had people start to say, okay, well, I want to fix my credit and I think I know what to do. Somebody told me to do this or somebody told me to do that. Talk to the expert. And although I am a mortgage lender, I have been looking at credit scores for now 13 years. And so there are some times that I have to pass it off to someone else. We have a team that will help if you need additional layer of help that I can't give you. But at that point, I just want to advise you, here are a few steps that we can do to immediately start improving your credit score.
Immediately.
Immediately, because it don't start to work until you start to work. So I'm going to give you some tools. After I give you those tools, I need you to go to work. I tell people that all the time. I can only do so much. After I give you the information, you got to put it to work. So those are the first few things. But if you have credit cards, we want those balances to be at least lower than around 10 to 30%. We don't want you to max out your credit card. A lot of times people say, well, I just used it as soon as I got it. They gave me a $500 limit and it's at 450 right now.
Mm.
No. And then they say, oh, I pay it off at the end of every month. I pay it off. Okay, we don't know when the credit bureaus are going to go and update your credit score. So what I tell people is never have more than a 30% balance on that credit card. So if the limit's 500, you should never have more than $150 on that credit card. If you do, you're going to be negatively impacted.
Mm.
So that's just simple math. Do it that way. And if you can get it lower than that 150, for sure, do it. But at no point during the month, whether it's the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, or the end of the month, do not have it over that $150. Okay.
And don't pay it off.
And don't pay it
Don't
to
max it
zero.
out and don't pay it to zero.
Yeah,
Okay.
they want to see some type of balance, because that tells them that you are using your credit and you're using it responsibly. You're not living off of the credit card. So that's one thing that I would suggest you to do. A lot of times people get into this, thinking that, well, I have to use the credit card all the time. I have to, have this high balance. I got to listen. Don't overthink it. Put gas on it. Leave $1, $2. I don't care. Do
Buy your favorite realtor or lender lunch. Perhaps.
a coffee or something. No, we don't drink coffee, but but just in case, it was us you were thinking, we don't do coffee. Um, anyways, but we will take it. Okay, so aside from that, I would tell you my other suggestion would be okay, I hear this and I don't know why people do this, but they say, let me go dispute everything on my credit report.
Mm.
No, do not dispute everything on your credit report because actually that can hurt your credit score as well. Because what happens is you dispute it, it opens up as if it were a new collection or a new negative impact on your credit score. So
So this
it
could be something that happened, like an apartment that you let go and they put it on your credit. And so
yes.
people want to go back and try to, oh, well, I need to pay this off or something like that.
Yes, or disputed. And
Hmm.
when they dispute it, that actually brings it back up. So it's been an old account, an old collection account for 3 or 4 years ago, and then you dispute it, and now it looks like a recent collection. Now
Mm.
your credit score drops. So because we're mainly interested in what's happening within the 12 to 24 months, that's what we're interested in. So I don't necessarily care about 2, 3 years ago medical collections, credit card collections. I want to know what's happening right now. So don't go and dispute the credit cards. Um, Another very, I say, oh, yes, ma'am, you had a question?
No, no, go ahead.
Okay, authorized user accounts. So it's a really quick way to improve your credit score. So, for example, I will use myself as an example because Jesse, and I tell people BC before Cherie, Jesse before Cherie did
Hmm.
not have good credit. And so I had to explain to him how to bring his credit score up.
Hmm.
And although we were working on that, an immediate fix was just add him to my credit card that I had had for, 10 years. And he immediately got 10 years of credit history. So if you have a spouse or significant other that they can add you to a credit card that they've had for a long time with good payment history and good credit balance and things like that, then you get immediate credit. You get a piggyback off of their credit. So that's an easy way.
What about children, like 18-year-olds or something like that? Can they add them as authorized users?
Yes.
Okay.
I did that for Elena as well. So you can do that for your kids as well, your younger ones. And I would say after that's just getting the credit card, getting that immediate boost is good. However, they will have to start developing their own credit profile because when they do get into the mortgage, if they were to apply for a mortgage, I'm going to say, well, that's a reflection of somebody else's credit and not yours. So it's a kind of a way to trick the system to get you a good credit score, and then you have to start developing your own because then we're going to start wondering, well, you only have one account that's in good standing, but you got 10 other bad ones. So is this your credit or their credit? And
Hmm.
so all things, will come out. So either way, but that's an immediate way to start helping with your credit. Okay. Um, I would say an additional way is don't go and start paying off collections because a lot of times people say, I'm going to start paying this collection off and I'm going to start doing, this and that. No, do not start paying off collections. Again, if it's old, I'm not trying to try to bring it back up. I'm not trying to revive it. Keep it dead. What do they say? Dead, let dead dogs lie.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why I'm just sounds sad, but I don't want to bring them back to
We
life.
don't go back, we go forward.
Yes, so we want to know what's happening right now is in good history. So also, I tell people right now is the most important. So if you're thinking about buying a house in the next 12 months, I want you to pay everything you can on
On time.
time. Please. I mean, if you come to me and you say, Sherry, I want to buy a house, but you paid your car payment late last month, is it's very hard. I mean, I'm not saying I haven't done it, but I'm telling you, it's very hard to recover from that. I mean, typically your credit score is going to drop probably 60 points just with that one late payment. So it's imperative. I do not care what you do to make that payment on time, but make the payment on time. Find the way to make the payment on time because it is not worth a 60-point drop. Eat ramen noodles.
Hmm.
Um, get creative. I don't know.
Go to your mama's house and go to her refrigerator.
Yeah, do it. I mean, I don't care, but we don't want to make the late payments because that has such a big impact on your credit score.
Hmm.
So I would say that. You were going to ask a question?
No, no, go ahead.
Okay, so in addition to that, I would try to tell you set up an automatic payment. If there's ways to set up automatic payments, because look, life happens, people forget. everything. I mean, so busy. We have school, we have kids, we have husbands that act like kids, and then we have all kinds of things going on. Okay, we have church, we have all kinds of stuff. Okay, so I understand it as much as possible. If you can set up an automatic payment, it's one less thing you have to worry about, and it's not worth damaging your credit over us. I mean, I've had people forget that they bought that shirt on that credit card because they're really not using the credit card for really anything other than to try to build credit, and then they
Hmm.
forget to make the payment, and then that sets us back
Yeah,
because
just set it up for automatic
mhm,
payment for the minimum. You don't have to pay it off or whatever,
yeah,
just as long as you're paying
right.
minimum. That's the goal. And if you want to pay more towards it, go ahead and do so. But at
Mhm.
minimum, set it up on auto pay for the minimum payment.
That's all you have to do.
Hmm.
And I would say, in addition to that, do not go. A lot of times people say, I'm going to pay off everything that I have because I know that's going to help my credit. As soon as I get this money, I'm going to pay everything off. No, actually, that will probably hurt your credit score as well. So do not pay it off. A credit score is built over time. And so a good credit score is built over proving that you've been making your payments on time for an extended amount of time. So if you've had a car that you've had for 5 years, you've been paying it on time, that looks great. As soon as you pay that off, your credit score is probably going to drop. So I would say make the payments as you can, especially if you're about to buy a house. Don't pay it off. Don't go off and pay anything else. Talk to your lender, let them do their analysis and say, this is what's going to happen. And if you pay off the credit score, they can tell you. We have systems that will allow us to tell you what will happen if you do X, Y, or Z. So again, that's why it's very important for you to talk to your lender, because your lender can advise you of, if you do this, your credit score will go, jump 20 points, or jump 60 points, or actually will fall 50 points, or
Yes, because you have
simulator.
a simulator. So
Hmm.
you can put in, hey, Sheree, if I pay, $200 on this card, or if I pay off this car auto loan, what will my credit score increase or decrease? How will
Yeah.
that look? So if y'all have that question or have some concerns, I always tell my clients, if you don't know, the best thing to do if you're trying to purchase a home is to get in contact with the lender, because they're going to tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get you in the position to purchase. And it's different when you're doing credit cards and stuff
Mhm.
like that, because applying for credit cards and paying credit cards, that's totally different than applying for a mortgage. So you definitely want to get into contact with the lender so she can give you the steps to put you in the position.
Yes, we're going to tell you exactly what to do, so that we can make sure that you're because credit score, we're going to look at that for your interest rate. We're going to look at,
Well, that's another thing.
mhm,
So with the interest rate, so let's say, the minimum score is 580, and someone wants to purchase and like, oh, I'm waiting to get a 700 before I purchase.
mhm.
I think that's quite different. With credit cards, you have to have, if the better credit score is, if you have a 700 credit score, you're going to get a better interest rate than a 580. But how does that impact with a mortgage loan? Because I think they're very different, but you tell me.
Really, there's not going to be a significant a difference if you tell me you have a 650 or 680. I'm not going to tell you, well, you know what, you need to wait. You need to wait another 6 months before you buy a house.
Wait, 650 and 680 or
Yeah,
580 and 650?
you're trying to trick me. Now listen,
Now the
if
minimum's 580.
yes, okay,
Okay.
so okay, go to your scenario. I'm sorry, 580 or 600.
Hmm.
There may be some difference between that credit score.
And then that's going
And
to affect your payment how much?
not a lot. This is the thing. It's very rare that I'm not going to be able to, one, tell you what to do to increase your credit score to get you to the point where it's going to be where you're not going to see a difference. So I would say just talk to your lender so we can get it figured out for you. We can tell you, hey, pay this credit card down, go under contract, let's roll.
Hmm.
We're going to find a way to, most likely we're going to find a way to get you in a position to buy a house and not lose the opportunity. We want to seize the opportunity now if we can. So
That's another thing. So once it does go under contract,
mhm,
contracts usually 30, 45 days and sometimes a little bit longer depending on scenario. But you can go under contract at a 580, and then you make a payment or something happens in that simulator or
mhm,
whatever. And then that credit score, you can rescore and then go up to a 620, and we can change the interest rate or do whatever
Yeah.
we need to. So you can go under contract and then make those changes, and we
Yep.
don't have to stick at that interest rate.
We don't. It's a little risky. I try to not do that because I don't. I like everything to be pretty much right and tight from the day that I give you the pre-qualification. And to me, if we're playing around with credit score, it makes me uncomfortable.
Mm.
So I typically, you may not know this, Nicole, because I don't want to give you, I want you to feel completely comfortable
And
when
I
you're,
do.
yeah, and you know what, very comfortable. You feel
I'm
sometimes
so
too
comfortable. Oh,
comfortable, sometimes too comfortable,
forgive
you
me.
know? So, because now we're on a podcast and you tell, now you're telling people that's what we're doing. Okay, which we can do it, but I really like for people to feel comfortable. Nicole feels comfortable. So I really like to have everything right and tight once we go under contract, once I give you that pre-approval, all things are together, including credit score. If we do have to go back and do a rapid rescore is what we call it. If we have to do the rapid rescore, we'll do it, but we don't want to put anybody in jeopardy of losing money or houses or anything like that. So less risk is always more comfortable for me. Remember, I don't go to Vegas unless
You're going to shop,
yes. And then I can go to
not playing the
Vegas.
slot machines.
No, no slot machines for me. So, I mean, those are my tidbits for today regarding interest rate, excuse me, regarding credit scores and trying to improve them in a quick time, quick fashion. We can do that,
Okay. Well, we appreciate the tidbits and all the information.
of
Um,
course.
and if y'all have any questions, thank y'all for joining the Twin Cast. If you have any questions, concerns, let us know. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone that you know.
Chasing their homeownership dreams. Until next time, keep dreaming big, planning smart, and remember, with the right team, you hold the keys.
Bye.